We're now joined by Aiach, CEO of Lysogene, a biotech that you started in order to save your daughter's lives.
Correct.
So talk to us more about what Lysogene is and what it's trying to do.
Lysogene is a leading gene therapy company aiming at developing treatments for rare CNS diseases affecting children. I have myself one child who was born with such a rare disease called Sanfilippo syndrome, and in absence of any treatment for that disease, I decided to try to find a cure with and create the company.
So it's a so-called orphan disease, that it's so rare that there's not funding?
Absolutely. That's what we call a rare disease, but you have to be aware that in America, every day, 30 million people will wake up with a rare disease. So as a whole, this is a very big phenomenon.
And it's something affecting a situation affecting the central nervous system, right?
Yep.
Okay, so tell us too, do you have a background in health or health services or biology or whatever it may be?
I don't, and I think that in that situation that helped me somehow not being, in the box, but thinking out of the box and bringing potentially maybe new ideas to the field. So my background is in business basically, and that's what I brought to the program when I created that gene therapy program.
And talk to us about the business. So where is it right now? How is it doing in terms of funding and research and potentially rolling out a new product and getting a product to market?
Good, that's a great question. So the company is based in Paris, and we recently opened offices in Cambridge here in the US. We are developing two different programs for two different diseases. One is in development with an Australian team. The other one is with a US team based at the University of Massachusetts. And in one case, we are targeting the disease of my daughter, so-called Sanfilippo syndrome again. And the second disease, the second program addresses a disease related to Tay-Sachs disease, which is quite well known.
Ashkenazi Jewish population.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the purpose of the company is to continue expanding its pipeline and add new programs targeting other orphan indications of children.
How's the work going?
Pardon me?
How is it going? How is the progress going?
The company is going very well, actually. We recently completed a phase 1-2 study with our lead product, and we are preparing for a registrational study. So that means that this is our last study before the market. And we recently interacted quite intensively with the FDA in order to not only have our next clinical study performed in Europe, but also in the US. So we are really thinking global and acting global.
And talk to us about what the process is like with the FDA, working with the FDA. I've heard several people, at least close to me, who have tried to, push to get drugs or treatments or therapies, whatever it may be, to market. That sometimes it is a bit of a headache when things get caught up in the regulatory process.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a headache, as you say, but at the same time, we have to think that we are treating patients, very young ones, so we have to be extremely careful about the safety and what we are doing to their brains, right?
Yes.
So my experience with the FDA and the experience of my team with the FDA is not that bad, I would say, because we have the orphan designation for our products. This gives us a sort of not privilege, but different type of interactions with the agency. So they tend to be very much aware of what, of course, rare diseases are, but what the constraints of drug developers in that space are, especially, I think, for a small company like Lysogene.
Okay, and we know too, probably as a parent, someone who sounds like you have a lot of business savvy, I think especially too, being a parent can really help you, and being affected by this can really help you make sure, you know what I mean, that you see something through and make sure that it is a success.
Yes, and I think that what you're saying right now, you're pointing out a very, very important factor. The fact that when we develop drugs, we shouldn't forget that we aim at treating patients at the end of the day. So what we need to develop are treatments that are meaningful for the patients, for the parents, their families, etc., and not only meaningful from a regulatory standpoint. So being at the heart of the disease, talking with patient communities on a daily basis, and having people working with patient communities and patient groups on a daily basis really help us make sure that what we aim at doing with our drug is something that will make a difference to the patients and their families, a meaningful difference.
Karen, thank you so much for joining us.
And good luck with everything. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
very
for being
much.
here. Yeah, thank you.
Best of luck.
You.
All right, before we let you go, Karen, if you want to just stick on set with us while we drink
Drink a little more Soylent.
Soylent, yes. Every Monday and Wednesday we have some Soylent. It's called Coffeeist.
Okay.
Okay, it's a little coffee-infused Soylent, if you will.
So let's take a look at what's on Cheddar Life. Liam, do you like that? I just listened to you verbatim. Let's take a look at what's on Cheddar Life 12. So guys, this band Kansas that's on, is Kansas on today? Peter?
Yep.
Liam? That's Kansas that sings that big song, right? What's the song?
Wayward Son,
What?
Wayward Son, and Dust in the Wind.
I used to play Guitar Hero to Wayward Son.
So Kansas is on Cheddar Life this afternoon? How in the world do we pull that off?
I don't know. It's been a mystery.
That is big
Kansas.
time. Kansas is like major. I was with Coach Kevin this morning. I said that Kansas is on the show, and he was like, "You mean Kansas, Kansas?" I'm like, "I don't know. I can't imagine they got Kansas."
Kansas,
No,
Kansas.
We did.
Okay,
Yeah.
who else do we have with that dog picture?
The biggest cat in New York City. Kansas plus the biggest cat in New York City. Samson, that's the name.
No pants
no
subway
pants.
ride.
Oh.
The
Improv
cat
everywhere.
is very big.
Yeah. I was
saw
talking to Freddie.
pictures
I was
of it.
talking to Freddie about the cat. The cat apparently is totally healthy. There's no problem with the cat. That's just who he is.
28 pounds? No, I think it's
We
bigger
do
than
love.
that, isn't it?
We do love to use a graphic and just run it into the ground. That in a song, we just love to run it into the ground. Do you notice that? That dog with the wig.
Yeah.
Like what's that about?
It's twice. That's 2 times we've used it, I'm being told.
All right. I'm
I like
traveling.
it.
I'm traveling Tuesday and Wednesday. Kristen's holding down the fort. See you back here tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have some
not me.
guest hosts too while you're gone.
I'm Kansas is guest hosting. Cheddar from the floor. Bye.
Bye, everyone.